Hello and welcome. My name is Christoph Putz and I'm your IT career guide. In today's video I want to talk about a day in the life of a software developer. Software development is a major portion of information technology. Be it operating system, games, applications, web applications, phone applications, software development is everywhere. And well, software development is also maybe a little bit mysterious in a certain way for people that are not familiar with information technology. And for them, the impression might be that a software developer is just hunched behind the monitor and hacking away on the keyboard all day. And well, in a certain way, maybe that is true. But on the other side, there are other things happening in the day of the life of a software developer, and that's where I want to get into today. So before we get started, if you don't mind subscribing to my channel, and if you like the video, please hit the like button as well. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm and makes this content available for more people. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So now let's talk about a day in the life of the software developer. So a typical day, depending on what time you start and when your first meeting is, really is usually catching up on email, continuing your work from the previous day. But then very early in the work day, not necessarily the day, there are usually these stand-up meetings where the entire software development team comes together. The project manager or the software development manager is there as well. And well, it goes around the table between every team member usually. So everyone provides an update. If there are emails with requests related to the project or the overall tasks that need to be discussed, that is happening. So these are recurring tasks really where it's just a daily check-in on where are we with the project, how is your work going, are you running into any roadblocks, and what is the update that you can provide to the team so that the team knows that you're not falling behind with your tasks, or no, we are all on track to deliver within this, let's say, software sprint if you follow the Agile / Scrum software development method. So that stand-up meeting is an important checkpoint in the day. It usually happens really in the first few hours of the day, and then everyone goes back to their desks and continues with their daily work. During these daily stand-up meetings, it's also part of preparing for larger project meetings or other meetings where the team is potentially involved. And then with these meetings, there's usually really just a review of the daily goals. What are you supposed to work on today? What do you have to deliver so that when this sprint of usually 2 weeks comes to an end, that the entire team has delivered what was supposed to be delivered during that time. So that's really where this daily stand-up comes in. It's a check-in. The entire team knows where they are, and if there are any issues, then the project manager or the sprint manager or the scrum master, to be more exact, will help to navigate those hurdles and make sure that the team can reach the goals that need to be met by the end of the sprint period. Once the stand-up meeting is over, everyone, like mentioned before, goes back to their desk. So if you're working from remote, of course, you are already at your desk and continue working. So next, I'm going to look at, let's look at the role of the senior software developer. So I'm pretty sure you can understand what a junior or mid-level software developer does, and I provide that detail as well. But I want to point out certain differences in the life for a senior software developer. So a senior software developer, as the word senior already says, is a software developer with more experience. What these software developers do, they also review the code that has been written and checked in by the junior and mid-level software developers. So the senior software developer spends a lot of time, sometimes 50–60% of the day, just reviewing code, making sure that the quality of the work of the other software developers really meets the expectations for the project and lines up. The senior software developer is also kind of a mentor or coach, helping and guiding the, I don't want to say the younger team members, but the less experienced team members, so that the project really moves along, that everyone is able to meet their deliverables and the goals they have been asked to deliver. So it's very important so that really the team is moving at a certain pace and nobody's left behind. And I mean this with the best intentions, really. It's important because you work together as a team, and if there's one or two team members struggling for whatever reason, that would put the entire project at risk. So the senior software developer plays an important role there, making sure that the code is clean and good and that it all comes together at the very end. So then, of course, as a senior software developer, you're still writing code. So from that perspective, you will spend some time writing code, and it could be the more challenging portions of that project or the application or the service, whatever you're working on. But that will be, I want to say 20-30% of your day where you spend time writing code. You might also potentially be asked to join certain meetings or to provide presentations and meeting updates in certain areas for people higher up, or with teams outside of the software development team, but that are related to the product itself, whatever you're working on. And then, of course, with anyone working in corporate America, you have your usual administrative tasks. It's writing emails, responding to emails, really everything that goes and comes with a normal job. So that's just stuff that is not going away. So let's step back. Let's look at the role of a junior mid-level software developer. So you are not going to do software reviews, code reviews. You're spending more time writing code. And so it's really, I want to say, slightly different in a way for the junior software developer, where you're really just potentially you joined the team, you're slowly coming up to speed, you get a better understanding of the larger structure and the design of the application. You're working on smaller portions where the code that you write or where the task is less challenging to really help you to gain that experience. The challenges are, I want to say, of lesser magnitude in a certain way. And so as you grow and gain experience, as you move towards that mid-level, that's really the main difference. You work also more with the senior software developers, and I don't want to say mentoring. It's not really mentoring, but you're learning from their experience, and they spend more time with you as your day progresses. Not every day where you sit down with them potentially and have code reviews or discuss items, or where they show you certain things, but it will be a part of, I want to say, your typical day. Mid-level software developers, yes, besides the daily stand-up, the majority of your day will be spent writing code. And we'll talk about really the work of writing code in a different video, because every developer has a different style, and you will see certain things that apply. But here really daily stand-up, code writing, administrative tasks, that would be what really applies to a junior and mid-level software developer. So I hope this gives you an introduction into the typical day of a software developer. Again, there are some variations here and there depending on what you work on, but overall you start coding, then you have your daily stand-up, you provide updates, you go back, you continue to write code. If you're a senior software developer, your task looks slightly different. You do more code reviews, and that's really the majority of the day. There are also differences in the beginning of a project, really where I want to say the project, depending on if you're building something from scratch, where more meetings and design work has to be done. Compared to later on in the project, where it's really more, okay, you have your timelines and roadmap and the deliverables, and it's cut into sprints where you're working through. So in the beginning, there might be more meetings and discussions about, let's say, database schematics and algorithms and these type of things. So where really the design happens. And that's, I want to say, the first portion of a project is slightly different from that perspective compared to the end. And then when you come towards the end of a project, and there could often be really that mad rush to the finish line. So your days might be much longer than expected. So don't necessarily expect that even during a normal sprint, you have the typical 8-hour workday. So there could be significantly more. Specifically, really, when you think of writing code, it's not just like putting a pen down and then coming back the next day, picking up the pen and carry on with your work. If you're deep in the zone and you're writing code for a critical portion, you need to get to a good breaking point where you really can cut and hit a break and then come back the next day. So sometimes your days will be longer, and you have to plan for that. So I hope you liked this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. I would really appreciate it. And then I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye-bye.